everybody, it's Jenny J. Thumbs up if anybody can hear me, since I'm not really used to this program yet, so we'll see. Patiently waiting. I think it takes a while for it to kick in for everybody. It's a good thing I start the broadcast like 3 minutes before. Okay, awesome. All right, loud and clear. Ooh, Mr. Bunning, I am jealous. What did you get from Midway? You have to tell us. I'm hoping it was some primers, some small pistol primers. Maybe you can send them Missouri way. I don't know. That would be nice. Tim, let's go Team J. Woo! All right, awesome. So it's good to see everybody. We've got 10 people on. Good evening, Mr. Rink. Good to see you. And I have a special guest with me tonight, and I don't really know, I don't know what everybody's seeing, or how this person joins in. This is like only the second time I've used this program, and I've never had anybody join in before. So my special guest is from Affordable Armory, Mr. Affordable Armory himself. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't see him on the screen. I see him on my screen. I don't see him on everybody else's screen. So I'm not sure. I'm going to send him a message here because we have an email strand going. Okay. Let's see if there's something I can do to make him be seen. Walter Bunning, you're good on primers for another 4 years? Ooh, I'm jealous. I think we're good on primers for about the next month. All right, I'm sending him a message telling him I can see him, but no one else can. Okay, we'll see what we get here. So in the meantime, while we're waiting, I wanted to let you all know that we are picking the cups up. They're going to be done tomorrow. So we'll start sending those out. Super exciting. I can't wait for that. So cheers to everybody. Here we go. The Jenny J cup with the 1911. So I did talk to a local t-shirt place last night just to see about getting some t-shirts started for everybody. And he said, let's see. Okay. He says I have to add him to the broadcast. He's backstage. I don't know how to do that. See, I'm clicking on this button. Does anybody know how to do this other than the person I can't get in? Let's see. Trying to find. Oh, okay. Here we go. So it's hard to believe that I'm actually a computer teacher, a computer applications teacher. This is not a computer application I've ever used before, so we'll figure it out. And I'm so lucky that I have the most patient subscribers while we figure this out. So I just sent Mr. Affordable Armory a message asking, he says, I have to add him to the broadcast. And I said, how do I do that? Because I don't see a button. So let's see. See if we can figure it out. Let's see. I'm going to go back to my comments here and see what's going on with everybody else. Oh, okay, the thumbs up button. Yeah. I'm so glad you all know how this works better than me. Yeah, ask one of my kids. I know. Well, see, so here's the thing. We have, like I said before, we've got 3 teenagers in the house, and we tend to not let them in the basement while we're doing our recording or our broadcasting because they're loud. They're loud teenagers, and especially the loudest one is my 18-year-old. She stomps around all over the place, and so yeah, generally we don't let them down here in the shop while we're doing this stuff. Let's see. I'm gonna head over here and see. Tim's never hosted a live chat. Yeah, I know. See, and I don't see any buttons that say to let him in. I'm clicking and clicking. I don't know. Maybe if I do an invite. No. Well, this isn't going well. Just what was that on Saturday Night Live when they used to have the coffee talk, and it was like talk amongst yourselves. Just talk amongst yourselves. I think that's what that was on. I don't remember for sure, but at least he's being patient with me while I try to figure this out. Okay. See, I have it set to have 2 people. New layout, no. Screen, no. I'm gonna go back over here and see what he's saying. Hover over my picture. It should say add to stream. Oh, go back over here and see what he's saying. Hover over my picture. It should say add to stream.
Are we there yet?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So much better. Ooh, all right.
I don't have audio.
Guys. So yeah, so this is
I can see you guys.
Armory.
Hi.
So Affordable Armory, go ahead and just tell us about you and tell us what you do and why you're affordable.
Okay, so I don't hear you.
You don't hear me. Okay.
Hang on. You hear me? Okay, that's good. I cannot hear Jenny J. I hear nothing. I don't know what's going on. I wonder if it's because I have this mic, if I put my headphones on. Hang on. Let's see.
Mr. Bunning says you have to mute you.
Hello? I have audio now. Yay.
Awesome. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good to go. That only took us, let's see, 5 extra minutes. So in the grand scheme of things, that's not too bad, right? All right. So Affordable Armory, go ahead and tell us about you and what Affordable Armory is all about.
Sure. So I have a channel called Affordable Armory, and my thing is when I was getting into guns, everyone said you need a Glock or you need a 6-hour or HK or whatever, and don't buy the cheap guns because they all suck. Excuse my language. I don't know if that's okay to say on your channel, but no one could really say why. So I mean, I own all of those guns now, but I was just out of curiosity. I started buying those guns. And when I started my channel, I started it with Taurus G2C, which at the time was about a $200 pistol. And now they're up to $300. And what I found is some of those guns are very good and some of them not so good. So that's really the gist of it. But guns, gear, I do a lot of holsters and stuff like that, and just testing it out, seeing if it's actually good or not.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So, all right. So have you, refresh my memory, have you shot the new Hellcat Pro yet?
I have not, no. I've had my hands on one, and they have it at my local gun store. I keep eyeing it. I used to have the regular Hellcat and just wasn't a fan of it. I carried it a few times, but I don't know. It just wasn't doing anything for me that any of my other guns could do better. So
Right. That's how we felt too when, when I shot the original Hellcat, I was like, and a lot of people recommended it. That was the thing. A lot of people swore by that gun. And so I was so excited when I went out and rented one and I tried it. And yeah, it was just like, it was meh.
mhm.
So yeah, but then I was a little skeptical when, the Hellcat Pro came out and I thought, I don't know, we'll see. And I was surprised that I really liked it. So
Yeah, yeah.
that was
I was
good.
hoping you would go with the SIG because that's my daily carry. I like
Oh,
the 365 XL is awesome.
yeah. I shot a 365 a couple of times and it was okay. I mean, I don't have anything against it. I wanted something that I don't know, that I just felt more of a bond with. I don't know, maybe it's a girl thing. I want to feel like I have a bond with my pistol.
Yeah.
I don't know. So okay, so then do you go shoot, like, do you have your own range? Do you go to a range somewhere and shoot?
Yeah, I go to my local range.
Hmm.
Um, and that's it's just down the road. It's only a couple miles away. It's an indoor range. I too dream of having Hickok's backyard someday. That's my someday retirement dream.
Oh, yeah,
But
don't we all? I mean, and I think that there are a lot of, if you look on YouTube, there are a lot of places, a lot of videos that show some outdoor ranges, and nothing compares to, I don't know, the hills of Tennessee, the hills of Middle Tennessee. So,
yeah, yeah, he's my neighbor. I'm in Middle Tennessee, so
oh, really?
not
Well,
literally my neighbor, but
yeah,
so,
yeah, but close enough. I mean, when
yeah,
you're in the middle of the middle hills of Tennessee, maybe, maybe you are a neighbor.
yeah.
But Tennessee is a very beautiful. That's one of my favorite places to go. Take a little vacation, get a cabin up at the top of a mountain somewhere, and just chill out and you know enjoy the peace and the serenity. That's why we're looking forward to camping this weekend, because I don't know, I think being that it's going to be 35 degrees Saturday night, there probably won't be too many other people camping. My husband says otherwise. He says, now I think that's the weather people will want to camp in. So I don't know. We'll see, but I'm prepared.
Yeah,
I'm taking all the sleeping bags and all the blankets.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So Affordable Armory, tell me, have you ever done anything to promote the shooting sport with other people? Like, what do you do to promote, I don't know, promote Second Amendment or the shooting sports or whatever?
Sure. I mean, like you, when I first got into it, I went out and got my NRA instructor license
Hmm.
or certification. And so I'm big into teaching people. Matter of fact, I teach at my local range.
Oh, cool.
So I teach basic pistol. I teach the carry permit class, and so I'm really big on that, like giving people a positive first impression of guns. I meet a lot of people that they're buying their first pistol, which again, thinking back to the term affordable, how many people want to go out and spend $500 or more on a gun, right? And maybe they do, but I think probably the average family is like, well, there's one that's $300. Let's just get that one. So that's really how I ultimately would like to influence people, is just giving them a positive impression of firearms in general, and then helping them to choose the right firearm for them. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So how do you do that? Like, what kinds of things do you ask or find out from people to help them choose a firearm?
Well, I'd start by asking them, what's it for? Um,
Mhm.
is it a home defense gun? Do you plan to carry a gun at some point? Or you just want to go to the range and put some rounds down range? Are you planning to join a league? Because all of those are variables that I would recommend one gun over the other, depending on which.
Mhm.
And then I would follow that up with, again, going back to the affordable, is what's your budget? How much are you willing to spend? So say like $500 is your budget. Well, I would tell you not to get a Glock because your budget's gone at that point. You have no money left for ammo, no money left for a holster if it's going to be a carry gun, let alone training. Especially if that's a first time gun buyer, like you're going to want to go take a private lesson or take a basic pistol class or something like that. So those would be the types of things I would ask.
Yeah. So have you seen now how many years, first of all, have you been doing this? Did you say?
The affordable armory thing, I started in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you at any point seen an increase in women joining this, or
Not
is it?
really. No, I would say
No.
probably 90+% of my viewers are men.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that, it's funny because I think I said the other night on my broadcast that, people commented and said, well, this is good to see a female getting into this
Mhm.
because it's rare. And I tell you, when I go to any of the ranges, I feel like 50% of the people out there shooting are women.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. And, maybe they're just not public about it. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure why, or maybe it's just the area that I live in. There are more women that are going to the range. I'm not sure, but I think almost every range that I go to even has several women working at it.
Yeah.
So
I
I
mean,
don't feel I don't feel like I'm unique or anything by being a female in any of this, but a lot of people make the comment that they don't really see women in it too much. So
yeah, and I would say like my local range lets women shoot for free. Like they just pay for their targets and ammunition. But that's it.
really,
Yeah, they no range fee at all. Just come in and shoot as much as you want.
wow,
That's for that very reason, to get more women involved in shooting. We
yeah,
have a women's pistol class just for women, and it's taught by a female instructor. So, just to try and encourage more women to get into the shooting sports.
right, yeah.
So,
Well, and I do know I have talked to women also. I guess I should say that, they've expressed that they're either afraid of their gun or they're just afraid of going out there and looking like they don't know what they're doing. And, there was the one lady that I helped with her concealed carry test. And, after I got done helping her, she was just like, oh my gosh, I learned so much from you. And she said, I was scared to do this. And now I feel really confident. And, I just thought, why? I mean, just because we're women, I don't know. Maybe I grew up on a farm, so I was always kind of more of a tomboy, and I've
yeah,
never really felt the need to be separated or anything, but I don't know. So it's cool to hear that other places are doing stuff like that, like offering free shooting and targets for the women. That's now when
yeah.
they start offering free ammo, I'll be down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we can work on that one.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
I
So
think there's a stigma too with the women. It's
yeah,
seen as guns are a man's thing. It's a man's job to defend the family, or it's a men's sport, or things like that, which is total nonsense, by the way. That's
right.
completely inaccurate. But I think just from what I've seen from the women I do see get into shooting, that's they come in feeling like the underdog right off the bat. Like I'm not gonna be able to do this, or I'm gonna do it wrong. But what I will say is from teaching women that have been in my classes, they listen a whole lot better, and they listen a whole lot better than the men do. And
Uh-huh.
they usually, if they take a lesson or something, they will outshoot the men because they don't have egos, and like I said, they listen. So you teach them the fundamentals of shooting, and they're like, oh, this is how I do it. Okay, and
Yeah.
they'll put bullseyes downrange, and the guys is all over the place, zigzagging everywhere. So
Yeah. I've heard that too. And yeah, just that men are more competitive and try to show off more with each other. And so they're not as careful, and women are better focused. when it
Mhm.
comes to accuracy. So I don't know. I mean, I've also heard that, like for smaller calibers, like 22s, women will generally outshoot a man, but of course, larger calibers, it'll flip flop. So I don't know. So I'm gonna check out the comments here. I see a lot
Yeah.
of people are like have been some spitting some stuff out here. Okay, so Critter with police cutbacks and defunding women are on their own for self-defense. That actually brings up a really interesting point, Critter, because I heard a statistic the other day. They said something like it takes about 10 minutes, an average of 10 minutes for a police response to a resident when there's, some kind of issue. And I thought, wow, if I have to wait 10 minutes, I'm sorry, intruder, you're going to have to just wait 10 minutes for the police to get here. That's not okay with me. I'm going to take care of things from the get-go. So, yeah, I think it's really important for men and women to be able to, we can't just rely on somebody coming to our rescue. We have to be self-sufficient, I guess. So I don't know. Let's see. Walter says he's seeing more and more at their gun club here in California. Not 50%, but there are more women there every day and evening. The range is open, and we have women classes also. Yeah. And that's something that we talked about focusing on too. My husband and I having, female focused classes, just so that it's females learning in the presence of other females, just so they're not feeling intimidated by, no offense to all the guys, but guys being around. I mean, I guess some women feel like they wouldn't be good enough or whatever. So yeah, it would be nice to be able to instill a little bit of confidence in women that want to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Scarecrow, hey, good to see you. Glad you got on here. Let's see. Critter, armed and trained your oldest daughter when she was having relationship with you, issues with her spouse. Yeah. Don't shoot your husband unless he gets physical. That's true. It'd be pretty hard to defend that, I guess, in court. But as long as there's just reason, they can't say too much, right? Always start ladies on a 22 first. Yeah,
That's debatable. It depends on the woman,
right?
Their age and how comfortable they are with the gun.
Yeah,
I've started many a woman on a 9mm. I will give them like a Glock 17 that's full size, so it's easy to control the recoil. And then have them try out several pistols after that to decide which one they like the best. Yeah,
and that's what I was trying to think. What the first thing was that I shot, and it was the, I don't know. I think it was a Browning Buckmark 22, the first thing I ever shot. But I went from the 22 to a 45, and I enjoyed shooting that. I think because it is heavier and it is easier to control for me. So, yeah, I think that the 22 just gave me the confidence to try it again. And then, but I found that I liked a little bit heavier gun. So yeah, good point. Let's see. The couple of women that I've introduced into guns have always been more concerned about being safe with the firearms. Yeah. And that's, I've said it 1,000 times, I know, but that's the one thing I'm always trying to stress, even to my own daughters. I want you to be able to at least unload a pistol, because, we, in one of our classes that we took, our instructor said that he had a friend who got a call from a female friend, and she had found a loaded gun next to her husband's side of the bed, and he had been having some emotional distress, and he wasn't home at the time, but she wanted to unload the gun, but she didn't know anything about guns. And so in order to, keep him safe and get him whatever help he needed, she wanted to have it unloaded, which is understandable. And, I guess she didn't even know he had this gun, and she found it. And so she had to call the friend, and the friend had to walk her through it over the phone, how to actually unload this gun. And I thought, that's actually a really valuable piece of knowledge to have, to just be able to, because you just never know. You never know. Even if you don't want to go out and shoot for fun or shoot regularly, at least knowing the anatomy of a gun, understanding it, and being able to handle it and dismantle it, I guess, is probably a really valuable skill set to have. So let's see. Michael asks a great question. How many years have you been shooting? So, Affordable Armory, how many years have you been shooting? I know you said you started in 2000.
So, yeah, actively shooting, I started in about 2014. So, going on 8 years.
Okay.
I didn't really grow up with guns. I shot, my dad had a shotgun and a black powder revolver. So I shot the shotgun like one time. My mom had a 22 rifle, and I shot both of those guns one time in Boy Scouts, and that's about it. And then when I joined the Air Force, I shot a rifle and a pistol at basic training. And then I shot a rifle again before I deployed, and that was it. And then I got sent to an Army base. And we were shooting all the time. We were playing Army, we got to do what the Army does. So that kind of changed my world. And then what really got me into it was a friend of mine invited me to go duck hunting. And I had a blast and decided pretty much on the spot, I got to get me a shotgun. And so then we went turkey hunting, and I was like, yep, definitely got to get a shotgun. So I did. And then some friends at work invited me to range with them, and they didn't tell me that they were going to shoot pistols. And so I shot their pistols, and I was like, okay, now I got to get a pistol. And it just went from there. I mean, we were going every couple of weeks together as a big group. And so it was a cool, fun social thing. And, and then I started watching YouTube videos, which little did I know that would eventually be me on YouTube. But that's where I learned a lot. If I needed to know how to take apart my gun, I would look on YouTube. Where's the video for how to disassemble this gun? Yeah.
Or if it's a Ruger Standard or even a Mark II, you need the video to be able to put the dumb thing all together.
That's why I got a Mark IV.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. There was one night, I think we spent probably 45 minutes rewinding video after video because it just wouldn't pop right back into place like we thought it should. And and we've had this gun, my husband's had this gun for a long time, and man, those things are kind of a bear to put back together. So yeah, I've seen the Mark IVs.
I have the one you want, except
you have the light.
Yeah, I have the 2245 light. I don't know if it has like the color scheme you want. Mine has the gold trigger and stuff. But.
See, I don't care about the color. I really, the very first one I saw was the purple one. And at first I was like, ew, who would want a purple gun? But then I was like, you know what? It's kind of a silly looking gun anyway. And with all the, I just think it looks very spacey, but it's just gotta be so much fun to shoot. It just has to be a blast to shoot.
It is. I need to shoot it again. I've only shot it once so far, but it's pretty awesome.
How long have you had it?
I think I bought it like 2 months ago.
Okay. And you've only shot it once?
Yeah. I don't shoot as often as you would think I do.
Yeah. I know. Well, other things.
Probably because I'm busy editing videos and trying to get them uploaded to YouTube and contacting people,
Yeah, I know. It's like finding,
There's
you
so
know,
much more work outside of just this that
it,
I don't, I
it
don't know if
really
you'll even
is. Yeah,
understand.
even just like
Um,
commenting, like I have found that commenting is almost a full-time job, just replying to comments and emails and all of that stuff. Yeah, it is time consuming, but it's
yeah.
worth it. I mean, it's
Mhm.
just been, it's so great to get to hear from all the different people. And I mean, like you've sent me messages. You've actually been a really huge supporter.
I'm from the start. I think I was your 6th or 7th subscriber.
Yes, I think so too. Like you've been there from the very beginning. So yeah, and I had like I don't have any idea who is on my channel. And so I was like, "Oh, hey, this guy's kind of a big deal. So I need to like
Oh, I don't know
out
about
and like
that.
get to hear what he has to say." So so yeah, it's really cool to, be able to have you on this show and, just get to hear what you do. Now, do you have family that you've gotten into shooting too?
No, not really.
No.
I'm the only one that lives in Tennessee.
Yeah.
My family lives elsewhere,
Yeah.
but a lot of them do watch my channel, and they'll comment or they'll text me and say, "Oh, that was an awesome video." So it's kind of cool. They all support me in it, and so
Yeah, that's awesome. My parents, they live on a farm and they raise goats and chickens, and right now is goat season, so they have all their goats being born and they're too busy to pay attention to what their daughter's doing on YouTube. So they have no idea. They're like, I keep talking to them about it and they're just like, "Oh, okay, whatever. Well, we had 5 goats born last night." I'm like, "Okay." I guess they'll do their thing and I'll do my thing for now. So
yeah,
all right, I'm going to check out the comments here and see.
yeah.
Let's see.
Someone asked about full auto. Uh,
Oh,
I have absolutely shot several full auto guns. I don't know about you. What about you? Have you ever shot full auto?
once.
Yeah.
One time I went to actually I have a video of me shooting it. I went to the range and rented one and
Was that the MP5?
yeah, yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that video. Yep.
It everybody kept telling me they were like, "Okay, when you shoot it, you can expect it to move up." Okay, well, so I was waiting for that. And when the guy at the range that works there helped me, he first set it to, semi automatic. So it was just one shot at a time. And that was fine. And I was
Mhm.
like, oh, it was 9 millimeters. So I was like, no problem. And then he clicked it over to auto. And I was like, and he said, okay, just, get ready. It's going to want to move up on you. And I was terrified. I think I only would shoot like 4 or 5 rounds at a time because I was scared of shooting the ceiling. I didn't know what to expect. And so I actually just watched a video tonight of a guy shooting an auto outside. And I thought that's got to be way more fun because I would be a
Mhm.
lot less nervous about shooting the ceiling out at the range.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that girl that makes the light come crashing down because I actually did see that happen once. So didn't want to do that either. But now, okay, so what autos do you like to shoot? Do you have a preference?
I mean, honestly, the one you shot is a dream gun for me.
Really?
I'm a child of the '80s,
Yeah.
and so the MP5 is like in every '80s action movie ever.
Yeah.
So that's number one on the list. Um, and then I mean, when I was at basic, the M16 was a full auto. My M4 was a select fire. And I shot the 240 Bravo, which I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a fully automatic 308. Um,
Oh, really?
so
Okay.
that was pretty cool. And then let's see what else. I've shot like some grease guns, like a full auto 45. That's fun because it goes like chug, 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 chug.
Yeah.
It's a really, really interesting report to it.
Yeah. It sounds
So,
much heavier.
yeah.
Yeah. That'd be really cool though.
It looks like someone put it together at the hardware store.
Nice. Well, you can never go wrong with those kinds, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. So reload. So do you do any reloading?
I do not. No.
No, that's what I was thinking. You had said that you hadn't gotten into that yet.
I did say yet. It's something I will almost inevitably do.
Yeah.
I've been told, and maybe you can verify this, but it becomes its own hobby in and of itself.
Uh-huh.
And also that my thing is I'm not a very organized person, and I'm told that you need to be very organized.
Yeah, that's true. I would agree with that. I mean, it's really important to have everything labeled and keep records and know exactly what's what. I'm not sure. I see on my screen that my face is frozen.
Yeah, someone commented that. And
did they? Okay.
Yep.
And so I don't know. I'm afraid if I refresh my page that it's gonna kick me out. So I don't know. I guess I'll try it. Otherwise, my face is just gonna be frozen for the rest of the
We'll see what happens.
for the rest of the exactly, yeah. So if you guys lose me, I'll be right back.
Welcome to the technical difficulties.
Yeah,
show.
exactly.
Oh, it's just me now. Oh boy, I'm kind of scared now. Let's see. I see comments. Oh, you're back.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if it's even gonna. Okay, good. It's still on the same video. I thought, oh geez, it's gonna split it into 2 videos or something. So, all right.
So Michael asked if we carry with one in the chamber from day one. Yes, I do. I've always carried with one in the chamber. Now that goes back to carrying a pistol in the military. We carried with one in the chamber. So when I went to concealed carry, which is a whole different thing, I was just already comfortable with having a loaded gun on me.
Yeah.
So what about you?
Well, so I'll be honest. When I was carrying my Ronin, because it had a safety on it, I would carry it with one in the chamber. Because I had the thumb safety on. So with the Hellcat, since I've only had it for a few days, I am still hesitant. So I haven't kept one in the chamber yet when I carry it. So, and part of that is just because my holster that I'm using is not the perfect fit holster for that gun. And so I hate for something to, I would hate for something to happen.
I might know of a company that could get you a holster. Just saying. Channel sponsor shout out there.
Yeah,
I do have a tumbler too. It's not as cool not as cool as the Jenny J one.
Well, I was going to say, you can't use it with the blue tumbler. The blue tumbler is, there we go, get it the right direction. The blue tumbler is, so we have the whole patriotic theme going on with my flags in the back and our tumblers.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, what does everybody else do? I mean, is it wrong that I would be hesitant to carry one in the chamber right now? I mean, do I just bite the bullet and go for it?
Well, we'll see what some of your some of the people in the chat say, but I'll give you my take on that, and that's do what you've trained yourself to do. So if you're going to carry without one in the chamber, then make sure you practice drawing and chambering around.
Right.
That's going to be very important, because otherwise you're going to draw and get a click with no bang and wonder what happened.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's as long as you are training to it. A lot of people like to talk about Israeli carry. Oh, I carry, without one in the chamber because that's what the Israelis do. Well, those guys train like hours and hours and hours every single day.
Right.
To draw from the holster and rack one into the chamber as they present the gun out. So that's what they do. That's how they were trained, and they do it for hours and hours and hours every single day.
Yeah.
I don't know any American citizen who has the time to do that level of training. So
I wish I had the time. I have to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know actually when I went to the gun shop where I got the Hellcat, it's called M&M, and the guy there, one of the guys that works there, the one that actually sold the gun to me, he was telling me how he practiced with his wife for a long time because she doesn't carry one in the chamber. And so he did exactly that. They practiced a lot with her drawing and chambering at the same time. And so, you know, and he was saying actually that your first shot you can take not even pointed, like, I don't know how he was saying it. He was saying like as you bring it up and you're chambering at the same time, you can shoot before you ever get like where you think you're. I don't know.
Yeah,
the way he said it made way more sense than the way I'm saying it.
like I said, there is a technique to it, and
Yeah.
if you train on it, then that's fine.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, just not in a revolver. Very true. I mean, if you have, especially if you have don't have a oh geez, now I'm having a brain fart. You know, the thing in the back. Help me out here.
The hammer?
No.
I don't know.
You know,
the firing pin? I don't
know. Somebody's gonna jump in here and say it. And of course, my husband just went upstairs. He would be off here like telling me like because I know this, but the older, so the 3 screws.
Oh, the transfer bar?
Yes, thank you. The transfer bar. The 3 screws did not have a transfer bar, and so that's why you had to carry on the empty chamber, right? But the new ones do have a transfer bar, so it's okay to have fully loaded chamber, right?
Yeah, and I mean, also there's still the difference in how they're made. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, older revolvers tended to have the firing pin on the hammer itself, so if you bumped the hammer, it would fire the gun.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that was, my husband found that out from firsthand experience. He had one like that, and I mean, it only has to happen once for you to learn a really big lesson, as long as you don't get hurt, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, exactly. Michael asks a really interesting question. Anyone have carry insurance? So, I don't know, like we personally have US Law Shield.
Okay.
And I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, that's what US Law Shield is.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and I didn't know if that was exactly what Michael was asking. But
yeah, I've used them in the past. I'm currently with USCCA.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, absolutely. I recommend getting carry insurance, whichever one you go with. Palmetto State Armory has a new one called Right to Bear. They're brand new to the market, but I've looked at what they offer, and they've got everything that you could want from it. So yeah, shop around, look into it, but absolutely have carry insurance.
Yeah. Well, and you know, the day that we went and took our CCW class, of course, we got that, and it just makes sense, you know, especially having sorry, bumped into my brass pan over here. Having kids in the house, you know.
Yeah, that's a huge consideration, and a lot of these policies too will cover your kids if, say, you know, they grab a frying pan and hit the attacker over the head in your home. You know, some of them cover weapons other than guns, and some of them cover your spouses or your kids as long as they're in your home. So that's something to look at when you're shopping around for these policies.
Yeah, very true. Sorry, I'm having a little dry throat here.
Yeah.
Sometimes happens. I've been teaching all day, so I've been talking all day, and now I talk all night. It just happens.
What caliber frying pan?
What? Oh,
That's a question for
good
an attorney.
well, we have some cast iron skillets that are probably pretty high caliber.
Yeah. Let's see. What else?
Okay. Let's see. So, Critter, you're saying yes, U.S. Law Shield? I think that's what he's, yeah, an assault casto. Very true. Yeah. I'm going to mute myself so you all don't have to listen to this. I'm going to let Affordable Armory talk.
Okay. Let's see. I was just looking through the comments trying to see what other, let's see. G-Webs, 99% of all carried guns are loaded, so there is no danger. Interesting. Let's see. 50 cal, it's a cast iron. An assault cast. Wow. Oh man, we went down a rabbit hole with that one. Anything you wish you didn't buy? Okay, good. I was actually going to ask some questions like this of your viewers. No. No regrets. I have sold some of my guns. It's usually because they were they didn't fit into my into a purpose, or like they weren't a defense gun. They weren't a gun I just took to the range regularly, or they were problematic. They had multiple issues with jamming of some sort or something like that. But I didn't regret buying any of them. But some of them I would buy again just for the heck of it. Some of them I need to buy again because viewers are asking me about them, and I'm like, I sold that one. Can't do another video on it until I find another one. Sorry.
Yeah. It's hard to sell something when you don't know.
Yeah.
When you've never shot it.
For example, my #1 video of all time on my channel is about a Kimber 1911, and I sold that gun last year. And so I'm like, man, maybe I should have held on to it.
Yeah. Well, so far I have no regrets for getting rid of my Ronin EMP. You know, I really wanted to like that one, and I don't know. I mean, at least my new gun is also from Springfield Armory. It's not like I'm, saying the company's bad. It's just that pistol wasn't right for me, and which is weird. A lot of people have said, well, you have to know how to shoot a 1911 in order to use that Ronin EMP. Well, my favorite gun is my SIG 1911. So I know how to shoot a 1911.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that. It was just, I don't know. I don't know. But I don't think there's anything else that's the only one really that I've been, disappointed in. And, it's also really hard. And that's why I kind of drug my feet a lot on getting the latest EDC, just because I hated to buy something after I was a little gun shy. After I got the Ronin EMP, I hadn't ever fired one, and I bought it and took it out and didn't really care for it. So I hated to go buy another one and not really care for that one either. So it is hard. It's nice when you can talk to somebody else that will give you an honest opinion and say, yes, I liked it. No, I didn't like it. I think that's why the YouTube videos with people shooting and giving reviews on all these different guns are so popular, because we don't want to go out and spend the money until we hear from somebody else, hey,
Mm-hmm.
this was really good, or stay away from this one. So yeah. I saw somebody asked about training. Mr. Bunning asked, how many here besides the host actually has structured firearms training, military, Leo, or private? So that's a good question.
Yeah.
I
definitely recommend it. If there is any viewers out there who haven't had it,
yeah.
Even if you just go take a basic class, it's highly recommended. I've taught guys that tell me they've been shooting all their lives. They were prior military, and we'll go out to the range after I teach them the fundamentals and basic safety and all that stuff. And they're putting their finger right to the trigger every time. They pick up the gun, their finger's right in the trigger. I'm like, finger off the trigger. And they look at me like, what? Finger off the trigger. You're not ready to shoot. Finger off the trigger.
Yeah.
And and then at the end, they're like, oh man, thanks. I didn't realize I was doing all that. And yeah, that's why you need formal training.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, this is something that I encounter just being a teacher. I feel like I can say something to my students and some of them get it. And then I'll show them a video of somebody else saying pretty much the same exact thing, but they just present it in a little bit different way. And even if I didn't get my point across to the students, if they hear it from another angle, then sometimes they understand it better. And so I think every student takes different tidbits away from every instructor. And we've had a couple of different instructors, and I know that I've taken away little things from every one of them. And I think it's actually really beneficial to not only have training, but training from various individuals, just because they may have a different way of presenting, or something new that they can tell you that you hadn't heard before. So I don't think that even people who have been shooting for a long time, there's probably nothing wrong with refreshing.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, people get in bad habits, and sometimes we need to break bad habits, and so having refresher courses even aren't a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, I try to take a minimum of 2 training classes a year, and the reason is, one, like you said, refresher training, but 2, they're going to teach it different from how I learned previously. They also may teach me something I didn't know before. And even if none of that's the case, me being an instructor, I'm going to be watching them as an instructor and pick up on, oh, he teaches the grip way different than I teach it. Or, when I learned this, 3 or 4 years ago, this guy taught it to me a completely different way. And the way you said it makes way more sense. I'm going to start using that, So that's another reason to continue to get training. And then just you never know what you don't know.
Yeah, that's true. You don't know what you don't know. That's also a good point. And you might just assume that you know everything. And I mean, that's another thing that I've always said, that teachers have to be willing to continue learning too. And I think that's what makes a good instructor, is somebody that's open-minded enough to always continue picking new things up and being willing to learn things. So Vic Hendery asks a great question: single stage or progressive press? So Vic, I'm going to say, if you're asking what I prefer, or what I would recommend to somebody, I recommend whatever you can get to fit your budget, that will fit your needs. Obviously, I have a progressive press. I also have a couple of single stage presses. So, it just depends on what your needs are. I know that I've had some subscribers who have said that they're very limited on space, And, you know, having a nice little compact single stage is, there's nothing wrong with that. It still gets the job done. So that's a great question, Vic. I would say whatever fits you, fits your lifestyle, fits your budget, fits your loading needs. So yeah, good question. So let's see. Michael is planning on taking some classes at SIG Academy, an hour north of him.
I'm super jealous of that. I have not been to the SIG Academy yet. That is on the bucket list.
Yeah.
I am going down to Smyrna, Georgia later this year to train at Glock.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
But the 6 Hour Academy is on the list.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be really, really neat. Let's see. I'm going through these comments. I never can keep up with all the comments. I love how much conversation always happens, but then I always feel a little bad. My husband will be like, after we get done broadcasting, he'll say, well, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? And I'm like, no, I missed it. And I always feel so bad because usually it's one of my very regular people that I end up missing something from. And I always just feel terrible for it. So let's see. Walter Bunning, you, sir, are a legend, says Michael Gillette. I would
yeah,
is a legend.
Well, he said he trained with Colonel Jeff Cooper.
Yeah,
while
exactly.
Clint Smith was still an instructor there. That is a lifetime achievement award to you, my friend.
Yeah.
Not many people can say that these days.
Wow.
So Clint Smith is also pretty close to the top of that bucket list.
Really? Yeah. Well, I mean, Walter Bunning has done it.
Yeah.
He's done some cool things. And he's very all I know is that he's a retired school teacher. So he's very humble about his training and successes. Let's see. He also is saying single stage turrets and progressives all have utility and function at my bench. Yes, I agree with that. They all have a purpose. There are lots of ways these days to mitigate. Yes. Yeah. That's true. Mitigate space issues. PNW Woods, teachers change instructions somewhat to the student. Changing the student to teach is not optimal. No, that's true. It's called being flexible and yep. Teaching to the student's needs. Do it every day. Mm-hmm. Oh wow, Walter, one of his certificates has both of their signatures on it.
That's cool.
Do you have it? Do you have it framed, Walter? We have to know.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to ask the same thing. Is it framed and on your wall?
Because yeah. It's probably hanging right there above the fireplace, right? I don't know. Oh, see, now everybody. Walter Bunning's going to have to be my next special guest, I guess.
For sure. I'm watching that.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my gosh. Oh, good. Okay. Tim has watched his videos on reloading. That's awesome. Very cool.
It's in a folder somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, no big deal. It's in my basement somewhere.
Yeah. It's like
that was a long time ago.
Exactly. It's like the actor that's won 14 Oscars and he just has them stuffed in a cardboard box somewhere. Oh boy. Well, all right. It is 9:30 for me, so probably 10:30 for some of you guys. I will be turning into a pumpkin soon. So I'm going to have to shove off, but I do appreciate so much Affordable Armory coming and spending an hour with us. That was really awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This is really fun.
Yeah, it is really fun. I know. It's just, there's just something about it. It's just such a great community. And, people are just always so willing to give feedback and be supportive. So super cool. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. And thanks again, Affordable Armory. I really appreciate all of you. send me that email if you want a cup, and we'll start getting those shipped out. Probably after we get back from our camping trip this weekend. That'll probably be Monday that I do that. So, but yeah, get that email to me and let me know. And anyway, if anybody needs anything, you know where to find me, but I will be in touch with everybody again soon. I can't wait to talk to y'all, and I hope you have a great weekend ahead of you. Thank you so much. Bye, Affordable Armory.
Bye, guys.